Today we're going to learn all about the Workbench and what it does, how to make it, and why it's an essential part to 7 Days to Die. The Workbench acts as another way to craft items other than your backpack. Essentially everything that you can make in your hands, the Workbench can do that as well. Now, at first this sounds pretty lame, but let's think about efficiency. Let's say you established a base and you need to make a ton of traps, but traps take a long time to make. So you can designate your Workbench to making traps while you make wood frames to build. Or, instead of building, you can go out scavenging while your Workbench is working on your spikes. The Workbench can also craft a bunch of different items that can only be crafted at the Workbench and not in your hands. And there's also the very important combining items box, but we'll get to that later. Let's go over this box here. I've gathered almost all the major things that you can make at a Workbench exclusively at the Workbench. The most powerful tools, they're made from steel. There's the wrench, there's the mini bike parts, here's the iron armor set, there's all the bullets, you can make them here, all the explosives, all the throwable explosives, here's all the mines, some mechanical parts, springs, the chemical station, the cement mixer, very important, flashlights, also important, and the super useful mining helmet. Alright, enough about what we can make at the Workbench. Let's learn about the real reason why we bought this thing. The real reason that we found it, and that's combining items. Now, to combine something, it's quite simple. We just put one item in slot A and another item into slot B, and there we go. We can see the results in the box, and it's that simple. But there's a couple of notes onto how this works. First is that the items must be exactly the same. You can't combine, say, a stone axe and a steel axe to get some monster stone steel combo, and nor will it repair one another. Those two items just don't work. They need to be exactly the same. Secondly, it does not matter which slot the items are in. It always adds up to the same result. See, these axes right here, I put this one in slot A and this one in slot B, switch them around, and it's the same result. So it does not matter. Third is that the combination is not final until you grab it out of the results box. This is very important, so this lets you see exactly what you're getting before you're getting it. So for example here, I'm going to combine this 69 level axe with only a level 1 axe, and it'll give me a 70. But instead of picking up, I'll replace the level 1 with the 67, and my final is 72. That's great. That's 2 higher. I'm going to go with that one. Save my little level 1 axe. Fourth is that the current durability of the items matter. What this means is that when combining items, the game will attempt to repair the highest item before improving the quality. And remember that durability is the bar behind the numbers, whereas the color and the number itself represents the quality. For example, when I try to combine this broken 21 axe with my level 1 axe, it still gives me a level 21 axe, just not as broken. So in this case, it would be much better to just discard that axe altogether. Finally, in order to combine guns, you need to disassemble them first. So if we put a full gun in, we get this error message about combining similar single items. So instead, let's take them apart and combine them. Then after they're combined, we'll reassemble the weapon good as new. Using the combining aspect of the Workbench is the best way to get your tools and weapons to the max quality, which as of version 15 is level 600. It's a lot quicker to combine items than it is to craft the thousands of items needed so that you make 600s every time. It's a lot less resources too. And then your tools at that point, your tools and weapons will do more damage to blocks and be able to mine faster. You'll be able to do more damage to zombies, and it's great. And there's actually no fee to combined items. It is free. You can just combine the two items. You will lose the two items in the process, but you'll gain one more powerful item. So it is a trade-off, but I think it's a great trade-off. Before I go, let's quickly go over how to make the workbench itself. First, you need the workbench skill. It costs 15 points, and then we can move on to scavenging for a few things. So you need some wood, you need some forged iron, which is easy since you've already made your forge. Next is the claw hammer. That can be made in your hand for just 12 forged iron, so that's no big deal. The tough parts are the mechanical parts and the wrench. This is where making a workbench can be confusing for the first time. To make a workbench, you need a wrench. To make a wrench, you need a workbench. To get mechanical parts, you need to wrench apart certain mechanical items like air conditioning, shopping carts, filing cabinets, and even these big leather desk chairs. But to get those parts, you need to actually find the wrench first. This paradox even extends if you find a workbench in the wild and you would just want to take it home. You need to wrench it so that way you collect it. Luckily, they can be pretty easy to find, but very frustrating if you don't find them. I find them most likely underneath sinks in any house, any type of building, so always check the sinks. And when you finally find a wrench and you're using it to get mechanical parts and the wrench breaks, keep it. Very important that you keep it. The workbench recipe doesn't care what the durability is at, so you can make a workbench from a broken claw hammer and a broken wrench and it'll still work. And that's it. Once you find a wrench, you can start your journey into making a workbench. I think I covered all there is to the workbench, but if I missed something or just have any questions about anything, just let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching.